Hello, I'm John Richards from Paladin Cloud, and today we're talking about the Center for Internet Security's Google Cloud Platform Foundations Benchmark. We're looking at recommendation 110. Ensure KMS encryption keys are rotated within a period of 90 days. This recommendation covers GCP's KMS encryption keys. The CIS description is Google Cloud Key Management Service stores cryptographic keys in a hierarchical structure designed for useful and elegant access control management. That elegant line makes me smile. I guess the owner of this recommendation is a GCP fan. Well, let's look at the description. Set a key rotation period and starting time. A key can be created with a specific rotation period, which is the time between when new key versions are generated automatically. A key can also be created with a specified next rotation time. A key is a named object representing a cryptographic key used for a specific purpose. The key material, the actual bits used for encryption, can change over time as new key versions are created. A key is used to protect some corpus of data. A collection of files could be encrypted with the same key, and people with decrypt permissions on that key would be able to decrypt those files. Therefore, it's necessary to make sure the rotation period is set to a specific time. This recommendation doesn't explain why. This provides a few benefits. It makes sure old keys aren't sitting around. Any access not automatically revoked when folks leave will cycle out after 90 days. And in the event of an exposed key, it limits the window of its exploitability. Now, we have a policy within Paladin Cloud called Rotate Key Management Service Encryption Keys every 90 days. Paladin Cloud is an open source security as code policy engine that monitors your cloud environments for misconfigurations. Rotate Key Management Service Encryption Keys every 90 days is a security policy that checks GCP KMS encryption keys to be sure they are rotating every 90 days. Since non-rotated keys don't immediately cause a vulnerability, but could do so down the line, we consider this a medium severity security violation. Now that we understand the risk, how can we audit this? Let's look at a few ways. First, we're going to do it via the GCP Console. We'll go to Key Management and check the next rotation date for our keys to be sure it is within 90 days. We can also check the status via the command line. Google offers a cloud shell for running CLI commands right from the browser. Here, we request the rotation period of our keys. We'll need to enter the key ring and the server location. For values returned in seconds, we want to see 7,776,000 seconds or less. That's 90 days. Now, let's look at how we could set this if they weren't being rotated. We go back to Key Management and edit the key's rotation period. Here we could set this to whatever value matches our company policy and hit save. 90 days for the CIS recommendation. If you use infrastructure as code like Terraform, you may need to update the underlying code so the problem isn't replicated on future deployments. One way to avoid misconfigurations is to use continuous monitoring platform like Paladin Cloud to automate detection. Paladin Cloud runs policies across assets. And those assets can be scoped by custom asset groups based on things like project or cloud providers. I'll scope this session to just assets on GCP. The Paladin Cloud dashboard shows us metrics on policy violation severity, category, and quantity. Now, earlier we learned that Rotate Key Management Service Encryption Keys every 90 days is classified as a medium severity. So we will find any violations here. From the violation, we could dig into the specific asset to remediate. Now, we aren't violating this specific policy, so we won't see it in the list. We can still go look and find this specific policy. And here we have the details on the policy and a link to the documentation for remediation. If this interests you, please check out the free open source repository for Paladin Cloud on GitHub and give us a star. Also, let us know if you have any questions or feedback. Thank you so much for watching.